Welcome everyone. So today we will study the topic priority queue. So without any further delay, let's get started with our today's topic. So first we'll learn what is priority queue. So basically a priority queue is an abstract data type that behaves similarly to the normal queue except that each element has some priority, that is the element with the highest priority would come first in a priority queue. The priority of element in a priority queue will determine the order in which elements are removed from the priority queue. The priority queue supports only comparable elements, which means that the elements are either arranged in an ascending or a descending order. Priority queue can be implemented using an array, a linked list, a heap data structure, or a binary search tree. Among these data structure, a heap data structure provides an efficient implementation of priority queue. Welcome everyone.
So this is the representation of queue. The start of queue is called as front and the end of queue is called as rear. To create an empty priority queue with no element, we initialize the front and rear as -1.
To start with the code, first the header files, standard input output, and standard library that declares various utility functions for type conversions, memory allocation, algorithm, and similar use. The line define max phi. This line defines the size of the queue. Then there are stated void functions which are to be performed in the program as insert, delete, create, check, display in the priority queue. The line int front comma rear is declared globally, which will be used throughout the program. We start the program from void main with first declaring n indicating the value to be taken from the user which is of integer data type, and ch for switch case. After that, some statements are displayed using printf for the user to enter his choice, which is to be operated on the elements. Print enter your choice asks the user to enter his choice from the options declared above and stores the choice using scanf. Starting with switch case, for case 1, if the entered choice is 1, the user will be asked to enter the value to be inserted in the queue, and using scanf, the value will be stored in variable n. Insert by priority is the function called for insertion, and then break statement will stop the execution of case 1. For case 2, if the entered choice is 2, the user will be asked to enter the value to be deleted in the queue, and using scanf the value will be stored. Then delete function is called and terminated by break. For case 3, if the entered choice is 3, it will simply call the function of displaying the queue, and the updated queue or the queue with its existing elements will be displayed. For case 4, if the entered choice is 4, it will simply exit your display screen. For default, if the choice entered is not among the mentioned case, it will print that the choice is incorrect.
Next is the function to insert a value in priority queue, and we will start by initializing the function, that is void insert by priority. In this, if the rear is greater than or equal to max, that is the size of queue, -1, then the statement will be displayed that the queue is overflow and no elements can be inserted. Else, it will check that the front and the rear r is equal to minus 1, that is, the queue is empty or not. If the condition is true, then it will increment the front as well as the rear, and the data is entered by the user will get inserted in the queue. Otherwise, it will pass the data to check function and increment the rear. All the code is about priority. This function will check the priority of the element and place the element according to it. So first we will declare the function, that is void check. In bracket we will pass the arguments. So we will initialize two variables I and j for the iteration purpose. For the first for loop, I will start from 0. I should be less than equal to rear, and it will increment as the iteration goes on. It will enter the loop and checks the condition if the data is greater than or equal to value which is present in the particular index in the queue. If the condition is true, it will move towards next for loop, that is j is equal to rear plus 1. It should be greater than I, and it will decrement as the for loop goes on. As it enters the loop, the value present at j minus 1 will be given to the value at j. This iteration goes on till the queue has the values in it. As this for loop ends, the data will be stored at the particular index value which I is holding. Next is the
So, as we insert an element, we can also delete an element from the queue. Here, first we have to declare the function void delete by priority. First, we have to declare a variable of an integer type, that is I, and the condition starts if front is equal to -1 and rear is also equal to -1, then the statement will be executed as queue is empty and there are no elements to delete. Else the for loop will be executed, that is I starts with a 1, I should be less than rear, and the I will be incremented throughout the for loop. As the loop is executed, the condition is checked if data is equal to value at the particular index of pre-queue, and the for loop gets executed. I starts with 0, I should be greater than there, and the I is incremented throughout the loop. After the loop is entered, the value at index I of pre-queue will get swapped with the value at index plus 1 in the pre-queue. The value minus 99 will be shifted at the particular index in the pre-queue which the I holds, and rear will get decremented. If rear is equal to -1, then the front is also equal to -1. And if the element is not found in the queue statement, will be displayed on the screen that the particular number is not found in the queue, that is to be deleted. Apart from all the operations performed on priority queue, also have to display the elements, so a function is declared as display pre-queue. It will check if there are any elements in the queue or not. For that, if condition is used, that is front is equal to -1 and rear is also equal to -1, then the statement will be executed that queue is empty and the function will get terminated. The for loop will be executed and elements present in the queue will be displayed on the screen. So,
have seen the whole program of priority queue which holds all the operation performed on it. Now it's time for the output of the code. Here we can see the statements that are displayed on the screen, which are the choices to be chosen by the user. Here we have entered the choices 1 and entered the element 5, and then we have entered the choice again as 1 and the next element to be inserted in the queue. Again we have entered the choice as 1 and the next element to be inserted. Next we selected the choice as 2 and entered the number 7 to be deleted from the queue. Next, we have entered the choice as 3, that is, display the elements that are in the queue. Here, we can see the elements that are present in the queue. Then, we have entered the choice 2, that is, delete an element from the queue. Now, we have entered the value as 6 to be deleted. Again, we have entered the choices 3 to display the elements. Here, we can see that 5 is the only element present in the queue. Like that, we can insert and delete elements in the queue and as well as display them on the screen. We have seen the whole